When did you? So you guys started out. You weren't exploring haunted things. You just started out like doing. It was like abandoned things.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a long run at this. I think we've been doing YouTube for like 10 years. And
It's been a
it
long
was
time.
abandoned. And then before that, it was like the trendy stuff. And then even before that, we started in public disturbance, like just pranks and stuff.
So you started when you were in high school.
yes,
Yeah,
17.
I was 16, like 1 month turning 17. So basically 17 we started.
And just for fun.
Just for fun. I mean,
Kind of.
like, so a lot of it was also because we wanted, like, we had a plan to become famous at the time, because as like 17-year-olds, it's a whole long story to it. But like as 17-year-olds, like we just really wanted to do that. It was like a goal of ours, because we had just like become like really, really good friends at the time. And after like learning how to be confident, we were very shy kids in high school. And learning how to be confident together, which again, we can get into that story if you would like, but
How did you learn how to be confident?
we were both originally from Kansas, Overland Park, Kansas. We met in band camp when we were 14
That one
years
time at
old.
band camp right there. That's where this story starts.
And you know that's like a horrible story when you started off like that. But it was so bad to the point, like we were just like super socially awkward and very anxious people where
Like a lot of people. Yeah.
100%. But like I had, like it was so bad to the point where I had to like carry around these like Tums, the anti-acid
boy.
pills, to just like honestly pop before each time I would go into like a new classroom, and just in case I got called on, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't freaking out internally. And so we bonded in band camp because we were both these like shy kids that
What-
didn't know how to talk to anybody.
What did you play in band camp?
Well, we both did saxophone. I played marching band clarinet.
Yeah.
And it was like something that our parents like made us do as well.
And so together you decided you were going to figure out how to be confident.
Yeah.
Yes,
well, we
yeah.
were like, okay, both of us, are sitting there awkwardly being like, okay, I like that girl. You like that girl. We both can't talk to her. So how do we fix this problem? And that was the like epitome of our
That's
friendship.
very analytical.
Yeah, yeah. And especially for being, because at that time we were 15. This was like before social media and stuff. And so we just decided one day, we were like, why is Billy over there? Why can he talk like to the hottest girls in the grade? And we're over here like crying in front of people, like trying to talk and stuff. It's not fair.
Well, there's an important lesson there, and it's the lesson of honesty. Because some people want to pretend that they don't feel that way, and if you pretend you don't feel that way, but you really do, you're never going to fix it. So if you try to play cool, and then you're just like setting yourself up, and you're in a trap. Because
Yeah.
now you have to admit somehow down the line that you were full of shit back
Instead
then.
of facing the problem.
Right.
Instead of facing the
right.
problem at 15, going, "Hey, why can't we talk to people? What do we do? Like, let's work this out."
Yeah. It
And
was-
so, what were the steps you took to work it out?
well, there
Sell
wasn't
your soul to the devil?
pretty much,
Yes.
actually.
That's why
I
we
mean,
do what we
it
do.
ended up getting to that point, and so here we are sitting right here. No, it was really like different. I mean, there wasn't that many things to do in Kansas besides exploring abandoned places and then going to the mall. So we decided, okay, what's going to help us with confidence? Let's go to the mall. And Colby and I would literally like have my dad, like this is before I had a car, so my dad would drop us off at the mall. And I told him, come pick us up at close. And me and Colby would go back and forth and give each other challenges. We're like, all right, I'm going to tell you to go do this really horribly embarrassing thing out in front of other people. And you either do it or you do 100 push-ups. And then he'd say yes or no. And I was like, okay. And then vice versa. And we go back and forth. And basically, the goal is just to put ourselves out of our comfort zone as much as humanly possible.
And again, I think the only reason we were able to like make this work is because we had like a brand new friendship. And so there was part of me that I was like, I can't let this guy think I can't do this. You know what I mean? And
Right.
vice versa. And so, yeah, like we were just looking up YouTube videos, like honestly, like as embarrassing as it sounds, like how to pick up girls, how to talk to people, like how to be more social and stuff like that. And then we'd take the things that we learned and then we'd go to the mall and throw ourselves in like the most uncomfortable situations just to like get out of our comfort zone and like really take chances and like grow as people.
That's actually very smart. That's the way to do it, because people are terrified of those interactions with people that make you uncomfortable. But if you just like seek them out over and over again, you eventually get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Get used to
Yeah.
it.
It's
Yeah.
really smart.
Yeah,
At
seeking
15 too.
failure and stuff like that. Like, if you are comfortable with failure, then you can do anything. Because then
Yeah.
you just keep failing until one day you succeed.
The problem with failure is a lot of times people let it define them. Like they think of themselves as a failure because of not succeeding. Instead of thinking of yourself as a human being who's learning and growing, you think of yourself like, oh my God, I'm the guy who dropped the ball.
Yeah.
I'm the guy who crashed the car. I'm the guy who did these things. You think of yourself as a failure. I'm the guy who flunked out of school. I'm the guy who, the girl broke up with me. You start thinking of yourself as like a person who fails. You don't think of failure as like if you're playing a game and you're learning a game, what you're doing is you're trying to figure out how to be successful, but you're still you, right? You're still the same thing. But when you fail enough times, it stains your brain and hurts your feelings so much that you can self-define. And then you put parameters and boundaries up, and you define yourself as a failure. That's what's really dangerous for people.
Yeah.
That's why you got to get back on the horse. That's why people say, you fall off the horse, get back on the horse. You got it, which is terrible advice, by the way. If you fall off a horse, you might fucking die.
Run away.
You might break your back a little bit.
Yeah, you can break your back. But that's
soon.
good that you guys decided to do that, because that's a really clever way to deal with the inevitable awkwardness that everybody has when they're young.
Especially in high school, and especially being in Kansas. Like, when we were in like the suburbs of Kansas City, so we weren't in like total like cornfield type thing. But we definitely were like probably 10 minutes away from like farmland and things like that. So like Sam was saying, all there was to do out in Kansas were go to the mall on the weekends, or we had like a bunch of abandoned places as well. So that's like how that ties into later in life, getting into that.
Luckily, you guys had YouTube. I mean, imagine growing up there in the 70s with no YouTube.
Right.
You don't get exposed to the rest of the world. You have to travel somewhere to find different cultures and different ways that people communicate and just different life experiences.
No,
Exactly.
I mean, where we grew up was definitely like a bubble. Like us starting to travel was like the best thing ever for our just personality and like our understanding of the world. Like getting out of Kansas was like, you have to.
I talk for a living, but when I was younger, I was very awkward, and I really had a hard time talking to people, like to the point where I'd get anxiety if I had to go to the bank, because I knew that I had to go to the bank teller, and I knew how to talk to the teller. And I can remember going, like, what am I fucking scared of? Like, why does this bother me so much? But I was just scared to just talk to someone who's in a position of power, or someone who's, a position of authority. It's weird now, can I think about it, because I'm so comfortable talking to people.
What's weird is I think so many people think that everyone cares. But like spotlight effect, like you are living your world. Everyone's living their own world. And so like they think everything's about them, everyone's looking at them, but in reality, everyone's focusing on themselves. Everyone's focusing on their
people
own
do
stuff.
care if you're weird. Like if you're weirded out and you weird them out, you're like, oh my God, this guy's freaking out. He can't even talk. But if you're okay, they're okay. It's like people feed off of other people's energy.